And she was like, he's in California. I'm like, so you telling me he did this to me, went to the radio and did all this to me, then he went to California? Like, he left me for dead. That's what you're telling me, he left me for dead. She like, I don't even know what to tell you, baby. Like, that's all I can tell you. That's what he did to you.
Tell the right story, guys. Let's tell the right story, man. Let's tell the right story. Let's get a real photo op. Let's get both of y'all, man. A good story. Let's tell a good story. It's for you, Pimpin'.
T.I. made a decision to distance himself from this story.
Hey, what's happening, y'all? Some people call me Tip.
But that decision would place him in multiple situations that forced his hand. It would lead to promises being broken, loyalties being tested, and ultimately the complete downfall of someone he once called a friend. Which raises the question, how did things spiral this far out of control?
But it ain't how I live while I'm here. It's how I live when I leave. Lifestyle.
T.I. got hit with federal gun charges, took a plea deal, and that deal sparked whispers that he might have told.
But this is about another kind of tip that can help our mothers, our sisters, our brothers, and our fathers help get the perpetrators who commit crimes against them off the streets. All you got to do is call Crime Stoppers Atlanta. Tips can be anonymous, and there's even a reward.
But the fallout didn't stop there. It dragged in a man he once called a friend, who's now fighting to clear his name and expose what really happened, even after being left for dead.
Even today, after he did me like he did me, I'm still trying to hold on and give him the benefit of the doubt. But I'm telling you, I, myself personally, I'm around there campaigning for the man. I'm telling them, no, he ain't told nothing.
October 2007, T.I., whose real name is Clifford Harris, is hours away from taking the stage at the BT Hip Hop Awards, the biggest rapper alive out of Atlanta. And up to this point, he appeared to be untouchable.
I represent the west side of the A-Town, Zone 1 bankhead, you already know it.
Machine guns, silencers, a convicted felon caught red-handed. The federal sentencing guidelines say nearly 5 years. The sentence he actually walks out with.
He was busted in his hometown of Atlanta trying to buy machine guns and silencers hours before he was set to perform at the BET Awards. Are you ever going to feel a sense of safety that you don't feel like you need to protect yourself or carry a gun?
I've made it through some very extreme circumstances, and I didn't always have firearms to protect me, and I'm still here.
For 20 years, one question has followed that number everywhere it goes. How does a convicted felon get 1 year for machine guns unless he gave somebody up? People have speculated the only way a convicted felon could have got 1 year for machine guns is by giving someone up. In April 2026, that man sat down with former federal inmate Matt Cox and put the entire story on the record for the first time.
They were saying T.I. told.
Right.
So I'm like, somebody trying to get the heat off him by putting me out there, making me the sacrificial lamb. But I ain't never told on him. I ain't told on him. I don't lie on the dude. I ain't snitching on no dude. Right. You crazy? How many dudes I done did stuff with? Is you crazy? You know, maybe you lost your mind.
So
and then he cut me off. He did a public cutoff.
To understand what happened between these two men, you have to understand where one of them came from. Cedric Zellers had a rough upbringing. First arrest at 9 years old, first drug charge at 13, state prison at 17, and adult facility. For a robbery charge that gets boosted up in court. He does 3 years, comes home 6 days before he turns 21, and goes right back to the streets. His reputation in Atlanta is specific. He doesn't rob random people. He robs robbers. He's the man you call when someone takes from you and you want it back. Known in every project, every neighborhood, across the city. The feds catch him on a gun sale. A man he trusted brings an undercover ATF agent to the meet. Alfamega sells 2 weapons. Pleads guilty to felon in possession, sentenced to 92 months. He does time at USP Atlanta, Beaumont, Tucson, Allenwood. Somewhere in those years he starts writing, screenplays, music. He figures out what he wants to do when he gets out. When he comes home, he writes a letter to Beanie Siegel, one of the biggest names in rap at the time.
Conversations with myself is getting too frequent. These pussy boys trying to trick a nigga out his freedom.
Thinking about my children got me at a stalemate. It's either live with my regrets or sell me. Cleanse my body, say a prayer, hoping for forgiveness. Lawyers retain. In this game, you can't afford a witness. Taking no chances, leaving nothing to cross-examine. Part of my manners, bananas, collateral damage. Niggas sleep, think it's sweet till my rafters ring. Kill every male in his family, erase his last name. Then let the wolves have a way with his women. The pleasure of revenge with a wonderful feeling. Kick back from the morgue like I'm employed with them. Rubbing with them shoulders, boys that enjoy killing. Guns and straps, I rap about, I brought them out. I lay these niggas flat and let the devil sort them out.
He walks into an audition with $5,000 cash on the table. Take it if I'm wasting your time. Beans wants to sign him. Alfamega passes. Too many artists on that roster already. He needs his own lane. He ends up back in Atlanta. Through a mutual connect named Block, he gets to T.I. They record together. They sit down face to face, and they make a deal. T.I. opens the door wide open. Tours, club dates, the King album tour.
Now, it's almost the end of the night, you dig, but I don't think we need to get up out of here, man, before we do one of the hottest songs in the city, you understand that? So, homeboy, could we go crank this thing up like we supposed to?
Alfamega is on the road, on stage in the inner circle. By his own account, he puts his family to the side to ride for this man around the clock. He has come all the way back from federal prison to the biggest stage in Southern rap.
You know the one okay, just pull us up all the whole and stuff and do your thing. Y'all ready? Don't get mad at me because you
And then Tip catches a case, October 25th, 2007. Hours before he's set to perform at the Hip Hop Awards, federal agents move in on a parking lot in Midtown Atlanta. His bodyguard has been purchasing firearms on his behalf, machine guns, silencers. As a convicted felon, T.I. cannot legally own so much as a handgun. What he has been acquiring is an arsenal. The federal sentencing guidelines for these charges, with his prior record, put him at nearly 5 years. The streets immediately begin asking the only question that matters to them. Here's what the court record allegedly says. T.I. had a bodyguard, approached a gun dealer inquiring about purchasing an unregistered machine gun. The dealer contacted the ATF. A sting was set in motion. Williams was caught, and he immediately agreed to cooperate. He wore a wire. He had monitored conversations with Tip. He agreed to testify. His bodyguard is alleged to be the government informant in the T.I. case, according to the smoking gun, available to anyone who looks. When T.I. pleads guilty and receives 1 year and a day, the U.S. attorney himself goes on record to explain the deal. T.I. performed 1,500 hours of community service. He visited 58 schools, 12 boys and girls clubs, 9 churches. Former Atlanta Mayor Andrew Young speaks on his behalf.
I think that Ambassador Young is younger than he leads on to be. You know, I think he has a young spirit, you know. And
you know, at Valina C. Jones School in New Orleans, in 3rd grade, I had to deal with drug dealers, and that was like in 1936, 38. It was, I mean, the conditions that we have now are remnants of the conditions that existed for a long time in America. And ultimately, they're the fruits of poverty. One of the life-changing experiences for me was that I got put out of school in 3rd grade for playing in the back of the room with a weapon. It happened to be an ice pick, and we were playing Mumbly Pig. And the other little guy and I, he was older than me. We got sent to the principal's office, and they sent us home to get our parents. I came back the same day and had gotten my whipping, my punishment, but I was back in school. He never came back. I didn't see him until I was getting ready to go into my senior year at Howard University, and I was lifeguard in the swimming pool. He came in and almost drowned because he was high on heroin. I mean, this was 1950, and he had not only heroin shots up, but all in his neck and in the inside of it. Every vein he had a little. I mean, he was wasted. I didn't remember him, but he reminded me that we had gotten put out together. He never got back in school because his mother was a domestic servant who at that time was working for $1 a day plus car fare. He had 4 or 5 brothers and sisters, and nobody took him back to school. But I was on the verge of dropping out because I knew I was messing up. And he sat there and lectured to me on why I needed to stay in school to make the world a better place. And he said to me something he didn't really need to say. He said, I'm as smart as you, but while you've been wasting your time in school, I've been wasting my time in jail. He'd been in every jail practically, from the reform school, Tommy LaFon Reform School, to the Angola Penitentiary. The lecture to me about going back to school, really the lesson was, there but for the grace of God go I. If he'd been born in my family and I'd been born in his, what would have happened?
Over 100 letters go to the court. The government calls it an unprecedented arrangement. The U.S. attorney calls it a success. The paperwork exists. The explanation is public. It has been public since 2009. But hip-hop doesn't read the letters. It reads the number. And a 1-year sentence for machine guns as a convicted felon looks exactly like one thing in the streets. So the streets go looking for a name to attach to that number. And the name that surfaces, the name that sticks, is Alfamega. Because in May 2009, the smoking gun publishes records from Alfamega's own past, a 1995 federal gun case. For the streets, that was enough. The math felt right. Allegations of Alfamega cooperating in the T.I. gun case began to spread, and to make matters worse, T.I. did nothing to clear up the allegations, which only made matters worse. In April 2026, Alfamega sits down with Matt Cox and puts his version of events on the record, all of it, for the first time. He is not approached by federal agents looking for a cooperator. He is summoned by street-level shot callers, men running the yard, who need a body to put false testimony on a target. In exchange, someone threatening to cooperate against Alfamega on a separate matter will stay quiet. He is young, he is on their yard, and he knows what happens to men who walk out of that room and say no. He goes to court, he lies on the man, he reports back. He is given a script and he reads it. He draws his own line. He lied under oath on a man he had no prior dealings with. He did not give up someone he ran with. By his own code, those are two different things. Whether you accept that distinction is your call, but what he says next, that is what this video is about.
Even today, after he did me like he did me, I'm still trying to hold on and give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm telling everybody he ain't told nothing. So when
Tip had the paperwork, he could see exactly what it said and what it didn't. Alfamega's name is not in the charges. He has no connection to what Corey Williams did. T.I. knew. In May 2009, T.I. publicly dropped Alfamega from Grand Hustle, while Alfamega was hospitalized after a violent arrest in Atlanta. Reports said he was injured during a police confrontation, fled, jumped from a parking garage, and suffered severe leg injuries.
Well, you know what, man? I can't afford to really be associated with that.
Right.
That ain't in my best interest.
Right.
Either way it go, you know, it's kind of like they only thought about themselves. Never mind how it affects you. Never mind how it could fall back on you. It's all about me. So if that's the take on it, I have no choice but to separate myself. You know, just due to what's best for me and mine.
I talked to T.I. while I was in that hospital. Nobody in the world never knew this. I spoke with him on the phone while I was inside that hospital.
Right.
He's supposed to have been meeting my attorney to give my attorney $40,000 till I got out of there. He's get an attorney $40,000, take the case, get me a bond, get me out of jail. I can give your money back once I get out.
The industry follows T.I.'s lead. The phone calls dry up. The doors close. One radio statement, made while Alfamega was handcuffed to a hospital bed, unable to respond, unable to move, erases everything he had built.
I can't afford to really be associated with that. Right. That ain't in my best interest.
So my attorney came to the hospital, and he was like, your boys just put you out there bad, man. I'm like, what happened? And he tell me, I'm like, what? I'm like, man, get me out of this hospital. Get me out of this hospital now. He's like, you can't even walk. So what are you doing? You just got to wait it out. He's like, who else did I need to call? So I told him to call a couple guys. They got the money up, give him the money, got me a bun, got me out. Then I went to look for T.I. I went to the office looking for him. I came to the office on a stretcher. I was on a stretcher looking for him. And I talked to the chick, Hannah, and she was like, he's in California. I'm like, so you telling me he did this to me, went to the radio and did all this to me, then he went to California? Like, he left me for dead. That's what you're telling me, he left me for dead. She like, I don't even know what to tell you, baby. Like, that's all I can tell you. That's what he did to you. And I was like, cool. Like, I never expected what I had to go through, what I went through, like from being on top one day and then the next day, all the doors that I'm usually walking through are suddenly closed. All the phone calls slow up. Like, it just happened all of a sudden. Like, it's like boom, but it wasn't a loud boom. It was like a quiet boom.
The first time comes when a man threatens to jump from the roof of a downtown Atlanta radio station. Alfamega says he had a gut feeling Tip would show up. He is right. He pushes past the security detail and looks him in the eye. Tip tells him to connect with some mutual associates. They will sit down and talk. It never happens.
I said, turn that up. They said, the dude trying to jump out the roof. I was like, yo, I need to go down there. They're like, for what? I was like, I promise you, I bet Tip be down there. So I seen him. He had his bodyguards and stuff with him. I'm just standing there looking at him. He noticed me while he was talking to some of the fans. And he looked, and I was like, and then the bodyguard was like, man, come on, man, don't start it. I said, well, I ain't gonna start that. That ain't my thing. I don't get on like that. I said, I'm gonna talk to him, though. And he like, man, just give him time. I said, bro, I need to talk to him before he leave here, bro. I said, you gonna stop me? He was like, no, I don't want no trouble. I was like, okay, then, well, let me talk to him. So then he came over. He was like, I still love you, man. I said, I love you too. I said, but we need to talk. He told me to get with a couple people that we know who never happened.
The second time is Juneteenth 2024. He is not looking for money. He is not looking for a confrontation. All he wants, after 20 years, is for T.I. to tell the public what he already knows. The documented record has never been complicated. The bodyguard wore the wire. The bodyguard made the monitored calls. The bodyguard agreed to testify. T.I.'s sentence came down through a community service arrangement that the United States Attorney defended publicly, on the record, by name. None of that required Alfamega. His name is not in the charges. Tip has had that paperwork for 20 years. He knows what it says, and for 20 years he's decided to maintain distance and has said nothing, while he built a legacy. That same silence cost Alfamega everything, his career, his platform, his name, in an industry where your name is your only currency.
Shorty right there, he like, Tip right there. He looking at you. I think he want to talk to you. And I looked around, he was on top of the thing, and he was like, what's up? And I was like, what's happening? And he like, come here. Now I walked over to him, I'm like, what's up? You all right? You need something? I was like, yeah, give me $20. He like, $20? I said, yeah, show me you still messing with me. Give me $20. He went in his pocket. He said, I ain't got no cash on me. I got my card on me. And then I was like, yeah, no cash? He like, nah. He said, hold on, I'm going to get it for you, though. He told another dude. He said, yo, give him what he want. Ooh. And then he was like, how much? I said, $20. The other dude was like, oh, what kind of games you playing? I said, I just want to see if y'all still messing with me. And my other partner was like, yo, it seemed like you trying to shake them down or something, talking about $20. They thinking like that. I'm like, no, I ain't thinking nothing like that. I said, I just want to see if he's really going to give me this $20 and if he's going to talk. He like, why you just didn't talk to him then? I said, it's too many eyes on us. It's too many eyes right here on us for me and him to talk. I'll walk off with him somewhere and talk, but he's not going to do that right now. And I just want to have a conversation with him. Like, we need a one-on-one conversation. You know what I'm saying? You ain't even really, For real, you really ain't got to have no conversation with me anymore. But I need you to go tell these people ain't had nothing to do with your case. Because these fans out here think that. And that's messing me up. You feel what I'm saying? That you keep letting it go on and on and on and on and on and on and on. And it's really, it don't got to the point.
The man the streets blamed, without evidence, without paperwork, without a single document connecting him to those charges, still will not call Tip a rat, even after the hospital, even after the radio, even after 20 years of a closed door. That is his code. He is keeping it.
But I'm telling you, myself personally,
right,
I'm around there campaigning for the man. I'm telling them, no, he ain't told nothing. I'm telling everybody he ain't told nothing. So when
I'm not downing him. I'm saying he did the right thing. I don't want to go to jail for 20 years. Fuck you.
I got you, but I'm saying, I get it like this. If it was somebody else, I'd be like, yeah, they snitched.
Right.
They told. But even today, after he did me like he did me, I'm still trying to hold on and give him the benefit of the doubt.
Tip has never publicly stated Alphamega had nothing to do with his case. But this is one man's account. And every story has at least two sides. Maybe T.I. had reasons we don't know about. Reasons that have never been made public. 20 years is a long time. And the full truth of a falling out rarely lives on one side of it. Or maybe it's simpler than that. Maybe a man caught a case, needed to protect himself, and turned his back on someone who deserved better. What we know is this: one man is on the record, the other has stayed silent. What do you think happened? Drop it in the comments. If you want the stories that go deeper than the surface, the ones where the truth is more complicated than the headlines, hit subscribe. Welcome back to On Point Stories. If you want to support this channel, click the next recommended video to tell YouTube you like these type of videos.
See, I get it like this. If it was somebody else, I'd be like, yeah, they snitched.
Right.
They told. But even today, after he did me like he did me, I'm still trying to hold on and give him the benefit of the doubt. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
I'm really trying to do that.
But it ain't how I live while I'm here. It's how I live when I leave. Life's ups and downs. They come.